Okay, good morning, everyone. Hope we're all well. So welcome to the College of Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences College welcome session. Hopefully we're all in the right space. So my name is Eliza Kitchen. I'm a lecturer in this college, but I'm also the Student Success Lead. You might not have noticed or realised when you first signed up to your degree that you're in this college. This is one of 6 colleges in the university. So this morning, we're just going to go through some of those fairly simple things to be thinking about when you're starting your degree, and we'll share some sort of more HAF-specific information with you as well. So as a shortening, we often call ourselves the College of HAF, because Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences takes a while to say. So to begin with, I would like to acknowledge that we are on the lands of the Kaurna people. It's very important in terms of the spiritual connection and how this land has been formed over the space of time. And I would also like to acknowledge that we don't only just operate on Kaurna land, we are operating across many different lands, across various different campuses that we use at Flinders. So I want to acknowledge the really important role of elders and acknowledge that the Kaurna people, past, present and emerging. So I'm going to kickstart by referring to our Dean of Education. So we've got Professor Chris Natalia, who is our Dean of Education, and she's just going to come up here and talk to you a little bit more about our college. Okay.
Oh, look at that. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Flinders and welcome to College of Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences. We're meeting today on beautiful Kaurna Yata, beautiful land that was never ceded. For us in the college, it's a privilege to live and work on this place and also to reflect on the First Nations traditions of storytelling, of knowledge and community that continue today and can be a source of inspiration for our own studies and our own lives. Now, I'm so pleased that you have chosen to come and work with us in the college. Our core vision is to understand the world and to find ways of shaping it for the better. And we hope that when you study with us, you'll develop the knowledge and the skills to carry that out in the ways that matter to you. So as importantly, we hope that you'll stay with us and work with us to create a sense of community and a sense of connection and to create a kind of a home at university, a place where you know that you are recognised, that you're valued, that you're welcomed, and we appreciate you for exactly who you are, for your unique way of looking at the world, your unique ways of studying, your unique understandings of what you want to do with your studies and with your life. Now, we in the college have won prizes for amazing teaching. We're ranked really highly for student experience, student outcomes. And that's nice, but what really matters to us is that when we win those prizes, when we receive those rankings, what that's actually indicating is that we have teachers who care about students and who want to give you an amazing and supportive learning experience. And I'm really, really proud of the people we have in our college who are going to be working with you to figure out the world and to figure out a way of making it better. And that's something that they do every day themselves. So our teachers come into the classroom and they teach you, but they also do their own research, which is informing what they're teaching you. So when you're working with these people, you're working with people who don't just speak the discipline, they do the discipline, and they do the discipline in ways that are designed to make a difference in the world. We've got loads of staff, I think we've got about 80 academic staff, but I thought I'd just introduce you to a very few people you might see around. So, for example, those lovely people in red, Pat, Kevin and Barbara Baird are historians in women's studies. They have worked together with community members to actually change abortion laws in South Australia. So through their work, they managed to achieve legislative change in ways that are going to impact on women's lives. Joshua Kalemba, up there in the middle, does work on how young people manage to survive in the gig economy, and in particular, how young people who have migrated to Australia manage to survive in those contexts. Sean Williams, over in the black and white on the far side there, is an award-winning author, and he's hosting Garth Nix, who is another award-winning author, in a few weeks' time as one of our writers in residence, so that you get to actually hear and learn from people who, again, are actually doing it. Even if you're not enrolled in those topics, we've got a whole bunch of talks that he's doing that you're most welcome to come along to. I actually just read one of his books for the first time when I heard he was coming. It's lots of fun, so check it out. Down there, we've got people in the wetsuits. It's Jonathan Benjamin in particular, who has found lost First Nation sites underwater off the coast of Western Australia, and it's just been heavily featured in the First Inventors, which is on SBS. Udoy, who's the guy with the mustache, works with the United Nations on figuring out what it means, what well-being actually means, and works with the East Timorese government to see how that might inform policy that's going to change the lives of people in that country. We've got Tom, who runs his own film production business. We've got Helen, who is a leading cinematographer in South Australia and who's doing work at the moment on a documentary on women in prison. We've got Kate down here, who's an English lecturer and who does a lot of work on children's literature and children's book clubs. We've got Tom Cochrane, a philosopher who's thinking about what it means to actually live a good life and how art and music can help us do that. We've got Verna Botha, who looks at how language changes over time and works with students to figure out the best way of communicating your own ideas. And we've got the beautiful Unbound collective, Faye, Ali, Simone and Natalie, who are artists and who work in our Indigenous studies space, and whose work is held in the National Gallery of Australia. Now, obviously, I'm really, really, really proud of these people, and I'm really excited that you get to work with these people. They're wonderful achievements, what your teachers do, but I'm as excited about their commitment to sharing their knowledge and supporting you to learn as well. So they sound really fancy and highfalutin, but actually they're people. They're here to teach you, they love teaching, and they're here to be accessible. Honestly, you won't find an academic who's not happy to talk to you about ideas and about the stuff that you're studying. So treat these people as people, because that's who they are. They're people just like you, and they're here to support you. What these people are, because they're people, is also a reminder that it's easiest to do things when we work with others, when we have connections with others. That learning and achieving involves trying and sometimes failing and asking advice when we're not sure. None of those people, with all of their amazing achievements, have come to where they are without failing really badly sometimes, and without misunderstanding things and getting things wrong, and without asking for help. And that's true across our college, it's true across Flinders University. I ask for help every single day in my job from these wonderful people, and I think that they would agree that I ask for help every day. And I get things wrong most days too. It's just part of what happens. Because the thing is, you're here to learn, right? You're not here to know it already. You're here to learn. And to learn means we start not knowing very much, and we start feeling a little bit uncomfortable and unsure. And we start feeling challenged, and sometimes in over our head. It's uncomfortable, but it's part of the process. And not a single one of your teachers hasn't experienced that. and doesn't understand what that feels like as a student. So when you're learning, when you're at university, to learn requires work, it requires vulnerability, it requires feeling uncomfortable and confused. And if we stick with it, if we ask for help, then we get to a point where we figured it out, kind of, sort of, enough to keep going at any rate. We never fully figure it out. So I hope you come to enjoy this process. I hope you come to see that discomfort and that vulnerability as actually a marker of your empowerment and your development, not just as a student, but as a person as well, as a citizen. I hope you see that discomfort when you don't understand something. I hope you see that as the start point for growing and not some kind of shortcoming for you yourself. And to help with this process and to acknowledge that this is a universal process, it's important to realise that we have a range of supports beyond the people who teach you in the classroom. So we've got people who can help you use the library to find resources, to figure out how to plan and research and write your assignments. We've got people who can help you write with your expression. We've got people who can help you balance study with your other life commitments. We've got people who can help you with your mental health and your physical health, and people who can work with you to ensure that your studies are designed in ways that take into account any disabilities that you're living with. And we have clubs and societies and extracurricular activities as well. So if you're struggling, or if you're confused, or look, if you just want to know something, look, just ask. And honestly, don't ask the right person, just ask anyone, and we'll figure out how to point you in the right direction. Sometimes you'll ask and we don't know. That's okay. We'll just ask someone else. The important thing is to ask. The important thing to realise too is that if you decide university is not for you, if you decide it's not for you at this time, if things come up, let us know, because we can help you with that too. Okay, it's part of our job. We see it all the time. It's not unique. So we are here for you as students and as people. So enjoy your studies. Enjoy the learning as much as the results that you'll achieve. Enjoy the community as much as the solitary thinking. And have a good time. Have a good time. Welcome.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that, Chris. As was illustrated by Chris's present discussion, we have quite a diverse college, as you probably understand from all those discussions around each of those different people. I think we have about 20 different disciplines, so we're quite diverse in our college. And what we're going to be doing in this session today is talking through some of those support systems as well that are in place currently. Now, I am going to do something slightly different today because I am going to add some interactive elements to today. So it's not just me talking at you. So there is some quiz questions that are going to be at various points during this presentation today. So if you've never done Kahoot before, you can simply scan in the QR code at the top there. Please do add your actual name. That would be appreciated. And there are actually some prizes at the end of this too. You do not get prizes, Chris, no. So no matter if you're in the room or online, you can all join this Kahoot. You can also set up your own little avatar kind of or character, which is a bit of fun. I'll give you all a minute to give you time to get on the board. I'm just going to make this a larger screen so it looks a bit nicer. Okay, I think we've got a fair few people on. I'll give it a minute more just to make sure. Oh, there's a lot of people. Oh yeah, we've got 34. I can see the number at the bottom there. 34 so far. Always takes a minute to set this up. Okay. Just as I'm about to click go, someone else joins. Okay. 35, I would say we're about ready to go. So I'm going to start. If you have missed it at this point, there is also the QR code and things along the way on the screen, so you can always join at that point too. So we will be starting with a quick question to begin with. This is just a poll. There's no points related to this one. So this is just simply trying to figure out a little bit about where you're joining us from. Okay, so we got a bit of a spread in the room. I noticed by looking at the registrations for the session today, we've got quite a few masters as well as undergraduate students in the room. So a bit of variation in terms of where people are coming from. And the reason, I guess, why I ask this question is to really highlight that everyone's on a slightly different journey. Not everyone comes into this room from the same background with the same experiences. And I think that's really important to point out because we are aware that this transition to university, whether it's a postgraduate degree or an undergraduate degree, it can be daunting. And there are going to be new things that you won't know what to do or how to go about it to begin with. As Chris mentioned in her speech, we're not always familiar with new systems or new ways of being. So do absolutely make sure that you are running your own race. Don't look over to the others and compare yourself against others, because that's not going to get you very far, I don't think, other than being a bit depressed maybe. So definitely focus on your own journey. Think about your own experience and take your time. We don't expect you to be perfect to begin with. So I think the key thing is making sure that you are asking the questions. So do approach us. As Chris said, we've got so many passionate staff members that are more than happy to discuss things with you, whether it's to do with your academic career or whether it's to do with particular themes or concepts from classes. But this is an exciting time as well. So you're embarking on a new journey. It's a chance for you to explore the areas of your interest. So it's a chance to discover, maybe find out what your passions may be, explore what possible career paths you might go into in the future. So it's a really good chance to also make connections. So with your fellow colleagues, with staff members, it's a really good chance to really get involved and make the most of this experience. So talking about experiences, there are going to be a whole range of different things that you'll be involved in the next couple of years. So it may be classes. So some classes may be face-to-face, where we're all in the room, where there may also be some online classes as well. So today we've also got people online joining us that way, joining us through Teams. So you may be familiar with that platform, or that may be one extra thing that you need to kind of get your head around to begin with. Often common forms we have in terms of topic teaching, often have lectures where we've got everyone all together. So this is the lecture space we've got here. This is kind of I guess, a fairly prominent kind of location that we use for a lot of our humanities, arts and social sciences lectures. But then we also have seminars where you get to sort of discuss things in smaller groups. And that's really about discussing, exploring, sort of making those connections with your colleagues. So there'll be lots of interactions that happen over your study career. So it may be with professional staff. So there's lots of supporting staff across our university that basically, if they weren't here, this whole system would not work. And I'll point out some of those in a minute. We've got our academic staff, so all of those people who are going to teach you in the classroom space, plenty of support services, and also learn from your peers. That's also what part of this experience is about. So talking about our lovely support services and our professional staff members, we have an administration team in our college, and I will point them out. They don't want to come and stand up on stage, but over in the corner there, we have Joe and Annie, who are our enrolment and course advisors. So there you go, there's a face to the names. They're very friendly people. And we've also got Janine Clark, who is the coordinator of the enrolment and student progress. So there's lots of different ways that you can get in contact with our administration staff if you do need. You can simply submit an Ask Flinders request, which is a good way of making sure that your question goes to the right spot. We also have a college front. So literally, if you walk out of this lecture theatre, across the courtyard, towards the library, and then up the stairs, you'll see this neon sign that says HAS. So up the stairs is where our college front is. And there's always some professional staff members there. So if there's something you're not really sure about, you can always pop up there, and there is staff there. There's also a nice, lovely space that you can use. You can use it as a study space to meet with people. There is also a coffee machine, just putting that out there. And biscuits, there you go. So no expense spared, absolutely. So do make the most of those sort of facilities as well. So first question, now this one actually comes with points. How many It's tough getting it done on time, I know. Oh, majority actually got it right. Yes. So I dropped that at the right time, I must admit. Made sure I slipped that in there. So yeah, 20 disciplines, a lot to explore within HAS. Okay. You know what? If you didn't get it right, you've learnt something new already on day one. Okay, there's a leaderboard, you know, we'll worry about that at the end though. Okay, so let's think about some of the really important things to make sure you've got in place before week 1, which is next week. So of course, one of the most important things is Wi-Fi, right? Always one of the top things. So you want to make sure you're using Flinders data, not your own. So make sure you do sign up to the EduRoam network. So use your FAN, so that's your username that you'll use throughout the Flinders process, and then your Flinders password to sign up to that network. In addition to that, we also want to make sure you've got your student ID card. So I'm just going to do a quick old school poll here with hands. I know it's no technology this time. Who has got their ID sorted? Oh, okay. Quite a number, which is good. So there's a couple of ways you can make sure you have your ID card. So you can go online and organise it through Compass. So Compass is your kind of key website, I guess, that you can find all sorts of different links through Compass. So you can get it through that way, or again, going back to the old school style, you can actually walk into somewhere physical and go down to Flinders Connect, which is just off the plaza area, and go and get your ID card from there. The other thing I just wanted to point out is a lot of these kind of new student information bits are on the Compass website. So there is a specific section which is all around new students. So have a look at that section, make sure you've kind of gone through all of those things that you need to do. Make sure you are, for example, enrolled. So there is the description of how to go about the enrolment process on Compass as well. So again, you should be enrolling into your particular topics. And then sometimes for a topic, you'll have a lecture and maybe also a seminar as well. So make sure you are enrolled into a particular seminar too. Again, if you do have any questions, we have our lovely enrolment and course advisors to help you along that way as well. Now, something that is new from this year is called the Unique Student Identifier. So this is a particular, I guess, number that you get given that follows you throughout your university career. So it's a way of kind of tracking and, sorry, I was making sure that wasn't my phone. Way of tracking and making sure you kind of have everything all up to date, all your details are correct and all of those sorts of things. So if you're not sure if you have one yet, you can check whether you have one, or you can also sign up for a new USI. Okay. Now, another practicality is thinking about how you're going to get to campus. So whether it's here at Bedford Park, at Tonsley, Sturt, there's lots of different ways that you can sort of navigate around the campuses and get to the campuses. So sort out a parking permit if that's how you're planning to get here. Or there is the train now that drops you off down by the medical centre, and then there is a loop bus that goes around campus as well. So there's plenty of different options to make sure that you can get here. So do familiarise yourselves with that. And also, there is the possibility to have scholarships. So if this is something that you might be thinking of, it is quite a quick process. There are also financial advisors through our Students Association as well. So again, if you do need any sort of advice in that regard, our Flinders University Students Association is a really good place to go to. All right, so another quiz. This one has multiple correct answers, just so you know. So what do you need to organise before the semester begins? Okay, yeah. So obviously, ID card, yes. USI, yes. Enrolment and registration, absolutely. Study spaces, we've got lots of lovely study spaces, but you can think about that later. You'll soon discover all the nice spaces that we have across the campus. Okay, ooh, changing winner. Okay, so we also want to talk to you a little bit around some of the help and support services that are available. So I am going to start by introducing some of our student reps. So we have a number of different student reps across our college, and we have 4 of them here this morning. So I am going to invite them up to the front. Okay. So in order, we have Olivia, we have Holly, Shannon, and Rakshia. So what I was going to ask them to do is just share one tip each with you in terms of what would be useful, I guess, in terms of starting a university degree. So Olivia, if you want to go first.
Personally, I think investing in a diary or sort of thinking about your time management, planning out your semester ahead when your assignment's due, just making sure that you know you're not caught out, you know, a week before your major essay is due and you're rushing to submit. So.
Yeah, and I think for me, I said was check your emails. You get relentless emails, so make sure to check them because they will have. They have been for the last like 3 weeks. It's been everything going back into semesters. So there are great opportunities. That's what often send out. And check ping. It does have things like fairly useful. So I'd reckon check that out.
If you're worried about finding your classes or maybe finding things like bathrooms or study spaces, you can download an app called Lost on Campus. It's like got an orange background and a panda on it, and you can type in anything across any of the campuses and it will tell you where it is.
Is it okay if I give 2 tips? All right. Well, I'll jotted down so many things, but as Raja said, just one or two. So one thing that would be helpful, I know for many of you, many of you may be anxious or excited or overwhelming at the same time, but make sure to look after yourself and make sure your journey, academic journey, will be with this curve. Make sure that it's not straight, like hard curve, you know that. Make sure it's not going down, up or down only. So make sure that to take care of yourself. And as Krish said, reach out, ask for help. And I know that many of us may be not open enough to ask. When you're overwhelming or going through hard time, then reach out to counseling service as well. So that can be helpful. And another one is, before you start, there's so many things the university has to offer. There's so many services which is student-centered. So make sure that what are the facilities, services that will help the academic aspect as well as the well-being of the students in the university. Yeah.
So yeah, so our student reps are really around to help fill any questions that you might have around your degree, and also they're a point of feedback for us as well. So these guys write up reports, they meet with their course coordinators, and they feed that information back to us so we can see if any changes are required. So it's really important, if you do have any issues or any concerns, you do have a chat to your student reps. Now, I'm going to put it out there. Does anyone have any questions for our student reps? It was like, no, nothing right now. I know, I thought I would just ask. If anything comes to mind, maybe we'll come back and revisit at the end of today's session as well. But do know these guys are going to be here till the end, so you can always pop to them and sort of ask them a question. Chris, you've got a question.
Oh, sorry. How do students get in contact with you if they want to reach out and have a chat?
Not sure if students are automatically enrolled into the HAS.
There is a HAS flow site in our kind of old learning management system, but it's still there, that has information around all of our course reps. However, in each new Canvas site that you'll be enrolled into for topics, each section around topic information should have details of your course rep. I've certainly got you guys listed in my topics, so all course coordinate and topic coordinators should have that information around their student reps in their topic sites as well.
And I think also, if you're looking at sort of making a change or supporting your peers, you can also apply to be a student rep through FUSA. So you can, I think, Google student representatives FUSA, and it'll take you to the page and you can learn more and apply for the new year as well.
Perfect. All right, thank you guys. Okay. So as well as our student reps, I also wanted to highlight some of our associations that kind of linked into our study and discipline kind of areas. There are many more clubs and associations across the university, but these are some of the ones that are, I guess, more related to what we do in HAS. So we have some people who are representing some of these associations today. So I'd just like to invite them up just to have a quick spiel about their particular association. Okay, so since it's first on the list, I'm going to go with the a cappella chorus, also called Duckapella, I believe, because as you'll notice throughout your time at Flinders, our kind of unofficial mascot is as ducks, basically. So just talk a little bit around that.
Mike, good stuff. I have to yell. Great. Good morning. So as you can see, a cappella chorus, the Duckapellas. My name's Dennis. I am the director of the club. I created the club in 2019. It feels like an eon ago. And we have been growing tremendously since then. Lucas is our social media manager, and Kiara, our treasurer, secretary. So throughout the year, we have rehearsals every Tuesday night in Oasis building, just across the road here. And we rehearse for upcoming performances and gigs that we might be performing throughout the year. But aside from that, we just sing and have fun together. It can be quite intimidating to look at and see, but it's not a strict schedule. It's not like you're expected to perform. A lot of our members come to just hang out and just sing. Even if you're new or experienced, there's no requirements. We've got members who have been singing in choirs for years, and we've got members who are singing in the shower for years. And I, for one, was that person 7 years ago when I joined my first a cappella club at Griffith University. You know, no experience, no theory-based requirements. I learned through the a cappella chorus. And you get to really meet amazing people and just have fun and explore your talent and grow from there. I also teach singing, so not from a certain level, but I expand my experience onto my members to share my knowledge. And I've been doing that for maybe 7 years myself. We have a consistent end of year chorus performance that we do. So like a family friends gig, which we did last year, which went amazingly. And we're looking forward to doing more. We occasionally do more performances throughout the year just for O Week, so we'll be performing next week here at the university. And we plan to do things like Fringe every year and Oz Arca, which is an Australian-wide a cappella competition. It's very pitch perfect, if you will. It's your dreams come true. And it's amazing. It's great fun. I went in 2016 with my old group, became first because we're amazing. And we won prizes. We got to explore and advertise our university and represent. And there's an after party, which is really fun. And it's all in Melbourne too. So you get to fly to Melbourne with your group and your friends and just have a really nice vacation. Now, a lot of my members and myself are in like so many different clubs, including a cappella, and I couldn't exaggerate enough how important it is to be a part of a club as well as your curriculum, because we all need a break from the studies, the assignments, and this is how you get that. It's really great to have that stress relief, to just relax and have fun with your friends and just be in the environment. No?
So my name's Chloe, and I'm the president of the Flinders University Creative Industries Club. So this club may interest you if you're a creative industries student or someone who's looking to pursue a career in the creative industries. And when I say creative industries, that covers everything from music, graphic design, directors, filmmakers, actors, event planners, anything to do with the creative industries. And what our club does is we connect all the creative industry students so they can help each other out. So if you're a film director looking for an actor, you can say to us, hey, we're looking for someone, and we can get these networking groups going and connections going that we can continue throughout uni and hopefully throughout your career. So we've got a event coming up, which is Chocolate and Churros Night. So look out for that one. But we also plan on doing a couple of career building workshops, things like how to make your own LinkedIn, and also other networking events.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liv. I'm the secretary of FUPAS, also known as the Flinders University Performing Arts Society. We are a club that's all about just fostering and continuing people's love for performing arts, the arts, just being involved in those kind of circles. It's a club that's very important. Sorry, fully lost my train of thought. Oh, sorry. It's a club that's all about meeting friends with that similar interest across all different colleges. So even if you're not studying something that's art-based, if you're, studying in archaeology or psychology or anything else across the university, to continue that love for performing arts and being involved in it. If you are doing an arts course, it's a really good way to meet people from other degrees and meet people from across the university with like all different experiences. We do clubs. Sorry, we do social events, we do karaoke nights, we do performances, we do plays, we do workshops, we have singing workshops where you work on your musical skills, we do improv workshops where you work on your improv skills. We just finished last Saturday our, I think, 5th play, which was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein down at the Parks Theatre, which was a really big success. These two over here were in part of the cast. It's a really beautiful time for meeting these friends, making these connections. It's been so important to myself and others in this university degree to have this place to go to continue something you love alongside your career, which is a really important staple of the Haas College. We've got a showcase coming up, which is just going to be a time for people can apply and just get on a stage and sing for fun. We're going to do some big numbers, some small numbers, just continuing a love for it. We've got our musical coming up at the end of the year, our 2nd ever musical, which the hope is for it to be bigger and better than anything we've done before. And people are working really hard to make that happen. Also, just want to mention, because I don't know how clear it was, for a cappella, we rehearse every Tuesday, which includes tonight. So if people wanted to come along, meet some people, there's a lot of overlap between a lot of these arts clubs, because there's this really close-knit community. So I think a lot of people in the creative industries are in FUPAS, are in a cappella, just because of this shared love for just getting to know people and fostering these communities and just enjoying the arts.
Perfect. Thank you all. So that's just a little bit of an insight into some of the different associations you can get involved with. And again, it's just broadening university life, really. And it's more than just studying, which as an academic, I'm happy with saying that. It's not just about being in lecture theatres, it's about that kind of broader experience as well. So thank you, guys. I believe there will be an opportunity to get to talk to a few more different clubs and associations as well next week, but I'll mention that a bit later. So again, as well as some of our kind of HAS-related kind of reps and associations and things, there are some broader support services across the university. So one of these in particular is our health counselling disability services. So this is really good in terms of getting to see doctors, nurses, being able to access counsellors. You can also seek out our disability services team for an access plan. So if you do have any form of health or mental health condition, or even if you're a carer, you can seek out an access plan. Now, this is a plan that's fairly confidential. It doesn't tell any particular details about what it is, but it provides some suggestions to your topic coordinators as to the additional supports you may need. So it is a really useful kind of document to put in place if you have those particular additional requirements that would just make your studying life that much easier. There is also a place called Oasis, and I think these guys referred to it. So just across the way near car park 5. I always get the car park numbers wrong. Car park 5. There is a little centre called Oasis. If you pop downstairs, there's lots of different facilities there. It is a great space for events, for practicing and clubs and everything, but they also have yoga, they have meditation, all sorts of things. So they also host conversation groups and things like that. So a really good place to kind of, again, meet people and get that extra support. So one thing also to mention is on Flinders campus, we are a big campus. And obviously with that, we are quite mindful of people being safe on our campus, not only here at Bedford Park, but across different areas like Tonsley and Sturt as well. So obviously, if you do see anything that might be unacceptable behaviour, do report it. Our security team is often on hand just down by the library there, but there are also phones around the place that you can pick up and also call the security team if you do need. Flinders is also a place that really is mindful of diversity. So around the campus, you will find places like prayer rooms. In particular, I think Oasis has a good suite of prayer rooms in that location. We also have equal opportunity advisors. There is a pride network, and also to be mindful of, I guess, well-being and how we kind of work within a community. We have a booklet that's been developed by our health counselling and disability team called the Good Vibes Experiment. And you might see this around the campus, but it is also available online. But it's a series of activities that you can go through. It kind of helps your well-being, helps you plan out things. So a really quite useful book to get your hands on if you can. Okay, another quiz question. Okay, yeah, so it is with disability services. I know it's all together health, counselling and disability, but it's generally the disability services area that is the best place to go to ask about your access plan. Ooh, switching in the ranks again. Okay, so the final area that I just wanted to touch upon today is just how to make the most of your orientation. Because there's lots of things that are going on this week and also next week that I just want to highlight for you. So this week is O Week. So it is the first kind of week of orientation. There are lots of different sessions that are being run by colleges, but also by our student learning support service, who often helps with the support for academic writing and skills. Also, there are campus tours, which for the first time this year, there are actually inclusive and accessibility campus tours as well, which is, I think, quite a progressive thing and very necessary as you notice how many stairs there are around Flinders campus. So it's really great that we're seeing something that's more specific being created there, because it is a bit tricky to navigate around if you have mobility concerns. So do have a look at that. There is also another means for kind of getting to know people called Unify. So these are programs that are set up for the first couple of weeks of orientation, and it's something you can just join. You don't have to be a member of anything. You can just join along with these sessions, meet people, hopefully make some connections as well, get to know people. Now, I'm very much aware that at orientation, you get told a lot of information. So this is a really good source. So there is a topic called Finding Your Way at Flinders. So if you search for that either in Flow or Canvas, we're kind of in the middle of integrating to a new platform called Canvas. Most of your topics will be on Canvas this semester. So that's probably the easiest form to use. But you can search for this topic, Finding Your Way at Flinders, and it has a whole host of information for you. So if there's anything you've forgotten from today or any of the other rest of the time during orientation, I would suggest you have a look at this particular site. These sessions are also being recorded. So again, you can go back to these things. We don't expect you to take in absolutely everything. And I find that most of the time in your topics, your lecturers will kind of refer to certain services or provide you with advice as you go along as well. We don't just do a dump at the beginning of orientation, go, yep, that's it, never mentioning it again. We often talk about these things throughout your academic career. So next week is what we call Connect Week. So this is when a lot of fun stuff happens. Not that fun stuff doesn't happen the rest of the time, but our student union or student association has set up a whole bunch of things for next week. So things like a movie night, there will be fair days, so there'll be opportunities to meet up with people from the associations and clubs. There'll be some live music, so a nice kind of atmosphere going on around the campus. So as I mentioned, there will be that opportunity to kind of talk to clubs and associations next week within those sort of fair days as well, because there are, as you can see there, over 80 different clubs. So there's quite a lot to kind of get your head around. Okay, so final kind of few tips. I think it was Holly that mentioned Ping. So Ping is a student newsletter, or it's an e-newsletter, I guess you'd call it. It comes through your emails. So you'll get them every week, I believe, with information about what's happening on campus. You can also follow various channels on social media. So for instance, if you have Instagram, Hey Flinders and the FUSA Association are really good sources of information. I check there myself to see what's going on campus, because that's the most up-to-date information you can find. So that's a really good source, so do follow them. So just to kind of indicate what's going to happen after this session, just so you know, there is also a lunch that's happening down over in the plaza area, just out here. That's going to start, we can take you down there if you like, we can move you that way. So free lunch that's provided by FUSA. If you are enrolled into either Bachelor of Creative Arts, Visual Effects and Entertainment Design, or Bachelor of Arts with a TAFE degree, there are also sessions following on from this one from 12:30. So do make a note of the rooms. So Humanities 130 is just out here on the corridor, and Humanities 203 is actually just near our college front. So towards the library, up the stairs, and it'll be there, but we'll have people around to help you navigate to those locations as well. Before I get to the final quiz question and we do the whole drum roll for who wins, are there any questions? Oh, okay, I have one. I'll run the mic back to you, just so everyone can hear. There you go.
So my question is, what time do your buildings close, the library, the loop bus service to the train station? Like, what time does it stop? Like, what time does everything shut down on campus? And what time does it open?
That is a very good question. I'm going to try my best for that as best as I can. So the library is actually 24 hours. However, you do need to organise 24-hour access. So again, this is something you can do via Compass. I'm looking at my professional staff. Yes, no? Okay. I believe you can organise that through Compass or speak to security who are down in that sort of area and just off the plaza there. So in terms of that, that's pretty much open all the time. I believe most buildings around the campus are open from about 8 o'clock in the morning. But again, if you do want to access some of those buildings outside of that time, you can organise 24-hour access. I think most classes occur from about 9 till 5. So most won't be outside of that time period. In terms of the loop bus, oh, okay. This is why we have student reps.
Yes, loop bus, it operates from 7 in the morning until 6 in the evening, excluding public holidays. But it do operate during semester breaks as well. Regarding the access, because example, if you want to access the Oasis, it's a different. And for the library, you need to you can get a 24 hours access. But there's some of the rooms in the university which we need to take access different. So it depends which kind of spaces you want to go, or the common spaces.
Okay, perfect. I should have given you the mic for that. So for anyone listening online, I think for those online, so loop bus 7 till 6, 7 a.m. till 6.
And
yeah.
also, there's like 3 different loop buses. One is Consulate Campus Link, another is Third, and if you want to go to the train station as well. So there is express station loop bus as well. So we have 3.
Yeah. So 3 different buses, so make sure you get on the right one.
Yes, make sure you get on the right one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just a loop, right?
Yeah, true.
Take a tour.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't go too far wrong with a loop bus, can you? No. But yeah, and then if there's any additional rooms that that you need specifically for your studies, your topic coordinators will tell you about that and tell you specific information about how to access those rooms as well. Cool. Okay, I think that ticked off all of the questions. That was a really good question though. We've got time for one more question if we have any. No, we're good. Okay, well, let's get to our final quiz question and then we'll figure out who wins the prize. It's multiple correct. Okay. Yep, perfect. So, I mean, I've not seen the college front on a Friday afternoon, so maybe loud parties do occur. I'm just not invited, no. So yeah, generally really good for lots of things, but it is a small space and a space where we've got lots of offices nearby. Before we skip to the results of this, I've just got a little bit of an announcement for Masters of Virtual Production students. So if anyone falls into that category, do please join the BCA VEED session in Humanities 130 at 12:30. Okay, perfect. And just one final one as well. If you are a Masters of Environmental Management student, we have Susanna Sheck, who's just in the middle here, waving her hand at you. Feel free to go and have a chat to Susanna as soon as we're done here. And I believe there's an orientation session that you're following up with next week as well. So do find out a little bit more from Susanna around that. Okay, without further ado, let's see how we've got on. I feel like we need a little drum roll. Oh, there we go. So is it Zan? Zan? You're Erica? Okay. So if you want to just go over to Kerry over there. Erica. Now, do we have Kay in the room? Who's Kay? Or online maybe? Okay, if you're online, just write a little note. Okay, perfect. We'll sort out a way of getting that to you. And Zan, if I said that right. Ah, perfect. Come down. Well done. Okay, perfect. So hopefully you've enjoyed this morning's session. Again, there is a free lunch down in the Flinders Plaza, just down here. Again, make your way to that. Make the most of the free food that's on campus. Any free stuff is always good. So thank you for joining us. And yeah, if you have any questions, just please let us know. And yeah, enjoy.